To a new episode of 10360 English. Today we are going to discuss about one small concern about electric vehicle segment. All of us know that we are much optimistic about electric vehicle stocks as well as the electric vehicle proxy companies, because we are projecting the electric vehicle as the vehicles or mobility for the next decade or maybe in the coming centuries. But on the other hand, the question is whether all the proxy companies or the electric vehicle companies, whether they can generate sufficient or decent profit margins in the coming years or in the next decade. Because there are enough or more reasons that prevailing to hamper the profit margins. So one such concern is nothing but the concerns related to the electric vehicle batteries. So majority of the electric vehicle, they are using lithium ion batteries. So in order to understand why the profit margins of the companies will come down to a greater extent, to understand that we need to understand from where the raw materials of a lithium ion battery comes from. All of us knows that the lithium ion battery, which is the powerhouse of any electric vehicle, that has lithium ion, and lithium is the most important thing. Along with that element, cobalt, that is another element that is necessarily need to combine with lithium. Basically, cobalt gives better stability for lithium ion batteries. All of us know that stability of a battery is much more important when it comes to its application in any robust environment. Now the question is, currently from where we are getting cobalt? Literally speaking, cobalt is everywhere, but 70% of the cobalt or cobalt reserves you can find there in Congo itself. Congo is a country, or Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. That's a country that's in Central Africa. The total GDP of Congo is less than 50 billion US dollar, and cobalt mining in Congo is one of the lucrative revenue source for the government. Two types of cobalt mining is there. One is mining using machinery, other one is manual or just with the labor. So in this case, bigger companies, even they are using mechanized mining, but still majority of it comes from local unorganized manual mining, because that's cheap, and moreover there is no threat of local protest. So bigger companies also prefer to purchase the mined soil from the local people. It is amusing to know that kids at the age of 5 or even less than that, they are also indulged in this kind of cobalt ore mining. So what's so risky about this cobalt ore mining? Because majority of the time this ore mining, that's made almost like in a tunnel form. So kids are generally sent to these tunnels because those tunnels are very small in diameter, and adults cannot get into that tunnel and dig it. So kids are majorly employed for that. It's sad to know that even thousands of kids every year, they lose life for the past 1 decade once the need of cobalt increases. So after digging this ore, that will be crushed, and this crushed ore will be taken to the local market, and that's sold to the intermediaries of bigger companies at a very low price. That's less than 1 rupee per kilogram. Now you can just imagine the extent of exploitation that's ongoing on that particular field. The funniest part of this is the entire Congo cobalt production that comes under the control of China. Largest cobalt producer in Congo, that is Dafang Mining, that's a subsidiary of Chinese company Zhangjingshuo Cobalt. So virtually China owns 15 out of 19 mines there in Congo, but they are not directly involved in mining. Instead, they encourage the local people to mine, and Chinese subsidiary company procure the ore through intermediaries. Currently, it is estimated that almost 8 million electric vehicles are on road, and it is estimated that in 2040 the number will become 10 times. That's almost 80 million. From the description, we can find that the way the cobalt is being derived, that has the tint of blood in it. A lot of kids, they have perished in the name of cobalt mining. Sooner or later, this will come to the attention of international media, and as a part of ethical business and sustainable business, these practices will come to an end. More and more mechanized mining systems or mining techniques will be adopted. So procuring ore at a cheaper rate will no longer be valid. Now let's come to the business. So as and when international protests start to build up, international protest doesn't mean that these bigger companies like Volkswagen or Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, all those people will make any issues. No, never, because they always want a cheaper cobalt. On the other hand, UN or these kind of people, human rights agencies, they will make some big hue, and within a couple of years or maybe half a decade time, the things may change. Then what will happen? Obviously, the cobalt ore cost will go up. Obviously, the cobalt producing companies' profit margins will come down. So increase in raw material eventually impact the price of the end product, that is the electric vehicle. So when the cost of electric vehicle increases, what will happen? Naturally, people start to move to the fossil fuel driven vehicles, that's petrol or diesel vehicles. So the demand of electric vehicle will come down. This will impact the electric vehicle company as well as the electric vehicle auto ancillary companies, electric vehicle proxy companies like HEG or Graphite or Minda Industries or those kind of companies. So as and when profit margin decreases, the results also will come down. Almost 1.5 decades back, we already have seen the deterioration of demand in non-conventional energy resources. That time only basically Suzlon as well as Vestas Power, they started to suffer. Because that time, due to the recession as well as the global slowdown of economy as well as the hydrocarbon prices came down, the diesel and petrol prices drastically came down. That time, bigger installations of non-conventional energy resources came to virtually an end. The same thing will happen for electric vehicle also if its cost goes up. When people fail to find a trade-off factor between the cost of electric vehicle and the saving, common men start to choose hydrocarbon powered vehicle unless government come up with certain norms. So when you blindly run after electric vehicle or its proxy companies, please keep this thing in your mind. This is not a 100% foolproof bet for the future. Be discretionary and analyze well before you invest in electric vehicle proxy companies. So thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Till then, bye from Anup.